The last part of the presentation is on implementation strategies. So a little bit about my institution. We're probably one of the smallest Division II colleges in the United States, but athletically, we're one of the largest institutions in Division II. So we have 25 varsity sports and 6 JVs, a competitive cheerleading and dance team, and we really have about 850 plus student athletes every year. So we've got a large population of student athletes coming through our school, and we have 7 full-time athletic trainers to really help try to facilitate that. So I've really been thinking about what we could do here to improve and to develop some strategies to get some PROs into our facilities. And I guess the first thing I want to talk about is just the barriers. For my institution, it's time. And that's no different than anything we've been reading through the literature. But my athletic trainers complain that they don't have time. They do too many treatments. They hardly have enough time to do their documentation. And so time is something that's really impeding the ability to implement some of these strategies. So some of the things that I've been thinking about, we implemented electronic documentation this year. And so before then, everything was on paper. And so I got to see all 7 athletic trainers and really how they transitioned through this electronic process. And it was pretty funny to see some of them. Some of them transitioned really easily. Some of them are still fighting the system. And some had a hard time but have finally picked it up now. So what I was thinking is, since I was able to witness that, what if I just used the athletic trainers that did really well with the electronic documentation? They picked it up, they accepted it, they moved on, they knew it was just part of what they were doing. What if I just use a few of them? So next fall, if I want to implement some of these PROs, why don't I just use those few folks that could help me, because they accept change and are easy to accept things and move on from them. So if we get together and talk about doing some paper forms of some PROs, I'd like to implement one upper body, one lower body, one general, and I'd also like to implement the GRC, because we can do that every time somebody comes in to assess them. Okay, so what I was thinking is the LEFS, the DASH, the DPT, and the HIT6, because I want my population to be post-surgical and also concussion, because we have got a lot of concussion at our school. So I'd like to follow headaches and just those other 3 assessments with the GRC. I feel like with that we could start very easily, see how it works just with some post-surgical patients, and move on from there. Eventually we should transition and streamline into electronic software system where it's easier for the athlete to be able to update and get messages, and to be informed that it's time to do it, and there'll be less time out of their treatment time where they're filling out forms and going over this stuff. And athletic trainers will eventually get more used to that system and will adapt to it easily. Other ways that I feel like as a group that we could improve, for the athletic trainers that are already certified and practicing, I think implementing things that are free will really help people go and watch them, listen to them, and learn from them. So implementing free CEUs, implementing free seminars, free conferences, flooding the area with some of these PROs, and really educating on how they can help the patient. For our athletic training students that are not certified yet, we could talk about maybe implementing a new standard into the CATI as part of their clinical proficiencies and part of their competencies that they need to complete before they graduate, so that these just become secondhand to some of our students and it becomes more accepting into the workforce. And those are some of the things that I would like to see at my institution. Thanks for listening.